Name the pettiest reason why you have ever ended a relationship. Got broken up with because I wouldn't yell in any argument. Called it a lack of passion. LOL. Turns out you just have a healthy and respectful communication style. Feel like this was the question Larry and Jerry asked themselves when writing Seinfeld episodes. I got broken up with because Elle don't drink coffee. She deadass said I want to wake up and make 2 cups of coffee every morning, and I can't do that with you. Not me but my dad, he dumped a girl because her shoes were too loud. Had a girl break up with me because I forgot our 2-week anniversary. Damn, how old were you guys? 16. It's okay though, didn't make that mistake again. Married my wife on our 6th month anniversary. Been married 8 years now. Remember, every day is your anniversary if you want it to be, I guess. Or something. I don't try to rationalize things like that anymore. There'll be no winning. My high school girlfriend took me to dinner on my birthday, and when she asked what I wanted for my meal, I said queso and chips. She told me no, I couldn't have that for my birthday dinner, as it wasn't a meal, it was an appetizer, but that's what I wanted. She then said, well, if that's what you want, you can pay for it yourself, because I'm not buying you an appetizer for your dinner. I didn't have any money with me, she was treating me, so I had a club sandwich, and no queso and chips with my meal. I broke up with her the next day. She kept moaning oof, oof, oof constantly, and all the time during every sex. Every time. All the time. She burned the chicken. It would have been okay in itself, but LD told her beforehand that the temp was too high and she told me to F off. Then when it burnt, just gave her the look and she went off at me saying that my oven was shit and I'm too judgmental, then really went to town on me. I just took it all like a gent, then said you can leave, and take the charcoal chicken with you. I didn't like her earlobes, literally just the earlobes. I was about 16 to 17 at the time, shows how pathetic I really was back then. Our birthdays were like 10 days apart. I wished her a happy birthday, but then when it came to my birthday, she didn't say ya effing word. Does reminding me of an ex-girlfriend count? I feel like it counts. Nose ring smelled. I could smell it when we were kissing. LOL, what is smell like? I'm not the person you asked, but can guess the smell. If you don't properly clean piercings, even healed ones, dead skin, natural oil, and bacteria can accumulate and in time produce an unpleasant odor. Words like pungent and funky come to mind. Gotta keep your S clean? Source, I have had my septum and nostrils pierced for many years. She poured bacon grease down the drain. Couldn't trust her in my house again. She wrote bland, mediocre poetry. I just couldn't. Not me but my friend literally broke up with her so because they said they were going to bed but instead of sleeping went on Instagram liking posts. Her parents weren't very welcoming. Legitimate. She got up in the night and finished my cereal, then put the empty box back. It wasn't the only reason, but it was kinda the straw that broke the camel's toe. I once left a GF for demanding I make eggs in a tiny pan. Maybe could hold 1 to 2 for a group of 6 people. There was a normal frying pan available. I was kind of losing interest in my GF, but didn't know whether to end it or just wait and see if I was just being stupid. I asked my brother what I should do and he said you wouldn't have the balls to break up with her. The next day we met and we split up. Literally did it to prove a point to my brother. Back in middle school had a girl over and she pooped in my toilet and didn't flush. 20-some years later that girl is also friends with my wife now. She had nits. Edit, head lice for non-UK folks. Thanks for the clarification, I thought this was some weird boob thing. Too much teeth giving blowjobs. Seriously feared I'd bleed out. Because he was literally stupid. I couldn't deal with not being able to have intelligent conversation with my partner. I don't care how pretty he was. I was losing interest, got the new Xbox, called it a day. I don't wanna play with you anymore. She didn't wish me a Merry Christmas and got no gift from her. She wanted me to regrow my foreskin. I wasn't the petty one in this case. She wouldn't stop telling me things about her exes. Like, really? You think that's a good topic to bring us together? Not a relationship, but I lost interest in a girl that kept saying you're instead of yes. Lost interest because she didn't like Batman. Lost interest because she wasn't smart. For having the same name as my brother. She had been living with me for 6 months or so, and it was the night before the Deer season opener, and my brother and I were talking out our plans for the next day. She came barging into the living room, sat down, and proceeded to preach to us about how she was vegan and supported PETA while snarfing down a plate of buffalo chicken tender. I had a girl stop talking to me because the first lady of her church told her that God told her I wasn't good for her. He bought me a bottle of shampoo and conditioner for my birthday. I already thought he was very frugal and respected that, but broke up with a girl freshman year because I saw her run at track practice. She had the dumbest run I've ever seen. It was unbearable, and for some reason I was so embarrassed to be her BF. Couldn't stand her laugh. Was better to end it than resent her being happy. In kindergarten she stole my crayon. It was my favorite color and the only one that wasn't broken. She had to go. She was really effing stupid, ignorant of just everything. She called me Boo. Was she saying boo or boo-earns? He wouldn't stop tickling me. It was one of the most annoying things. I would be relaxed in bed and he would tickle me. Watching a movie, he would tickle me. I genuinely had to sit him down and talk to him about why it bothers me so much. Next day, tickled me and I immediately broke up. Because she wanted to hold my hand in public. While was in high school I was severely bullied daily and my self-esteem was non-existent. Somehow a girl really liked me and one day she kissed me and asked me if she could be my girlfriend. We started dating and really enjoying each other's company, kissing, which was something I had never done or felt before, hugging and talking. I was genuinely happy to have someone who cared about me way more than I did about myself, but when my bullies saw us they started making fun of us, laughing and pointing at us, and they would beat me up in front of her. She had never experienced bullying, but she didn't care at all and just wanted to be with me. Just wanted it to stop, and it came to a point where I couldn't do it anymore. She wanted to hold hands and hug me all the time, and every time they saw her doing it they made sure to shame me in front of her and anyone around. I started to keep my distance from her until a mutual friend told me that I should at least break up with her because she was crying all the time, as she didn't understand why I was so distant all of a sudden. I broke up with her and told her I simply didn't feel a connection between us instead of telling her the truth. As time went by and I became an adult, I started to realize what an idiot I was. I was bullied for years and I'm still mentally affected by it all these years later, but I had someone who was there for me when no one was. Someone who loved me for some reason. Someone who was willing to bear the bullying with me and help me back up. I haven't had a proper girlfriend since then, and I don't have contact with her anymore as I don't use social media anymore and I moved to another country. I am truly sorry that I was a weak man and broke the heart of someone who was strong and a bright light in everyone's life. I really miss her, and though we were only teenagers at the time, I feel like she was the one, and I let her go because was weak. A crumb. We were eating sandwiches on the couch. She was being a little messy about it and I was watching crumbs fall on the floor. I said something like, "Hey, could you be a little more careful, you're dropping crumbs everywhere." She picked up one of the crumbs and threw it across the room and started laughing. Heard her say that I was too poor for her, just broke up. I just left and never said a word to her. Not me, but my first GF dumped me after I said I didn't really like how her mom acts towards our relationship. She didn't approve my relationship with her because I'm Armenian and look like I'm Arabic. Went on one date, had a great connection, had maybe the hottest hookup ever that same night, went out of town the next day for the holidays, and sat there realizing I couldn't get past the fact we had the same name, just one letter different. One wrote restaurant reviews for an online paper, based on other people's Yelp/Google reviews without disclosing it. Another one really believed in and sold homeopathic medicine. Not the main reason, but she just looked so much like Booker Prize winning author Salman Rushdie, and I couldn't unsee it. I felt so awful for even thinking it, but the resemblance was just too noticeable. Her purse was just so big. You have to stop at every single place along the walkway to get food and eat, and you can't go without food for literally 5 minutes. I don't know if I can do this for the rest of my life. Me whenever I was 14 and to going out with somebody who was very obese. LVE never been thin myself, but this person had to stop at every place along the walkway and get something to eat and would complain if they didn't constantly have food in their mouth. We were on vacation at a theme park, and after the 4th hour of that going on and then complaining constantly about even walking for 10 minutes, I'm just like, yeah, I can't do this forever. She was too small. I am 6.2, 1.9 m, and she was 4.9, 1.5 m, or so. I was very insecure when I was 19 years old. I ended so many first dates because of this, but that drives me when a girl walks pigeon-toed. I don't know why, it just does. My friend has this and she was super self-conscious about it. It was something like when she was born her ankles were broken. They fixed it but it never healed 100% properly. So she was slightly pigeon-toed. 25. Okay, picture this. It's about to be time for the homecoming days. My boyfriend at the time buys our tickets. Everything is going okay as I prepare to go. Right before the dance, he asks if he can have the ticket that I got back because one of his friends is threatening suicide if they can't go to the dance. I tell him that his friend needs serious help and give him the ticket. Anyways, because I'm not a social person really and I didn't want to start then, after homecoming, one of my friends tells me that she saw my ex-boyfriend with someone else. I decided that LD end the partnership. I know it wasn't petty on my side, but it definitely was on his. My friend broke up with his GF because she chose international management instead of banking and finance for her masters. My brother came home one day and said it was over between him and his girlfriend. I asked him what happened and he told me he went to her house in the morning, climbed through her window and tried to give her a good morning/wake up kiss. Very romantic of him. But apparently her breath really stank to the heavens. So he broke it off. He was 12 or 13 at the time. He is now gay. Was talking to my first high school GF on the phone one night and she mentioned taking a break for a little while. So, a little bummed out, I respected her wishes and said okay. Wow, that was just a test. I wasn't actually being serious. But if that's how you really feel, you know what? Yeah, now that you said that, I'm fully committed to breaking up now. In high school, I broke up a guy for wearing his socks too high, but honestly, what other choice did I have?